Last thing, Canelo said that he might bypass May for a rematch with you in September. Your thoughts?
That's new news to me.
Yeah. Would you be open to the rematch?
Terence Crawford, coming off his stunning win over the Mexican superstar, isn't just ignoring the chatter, he's completely overturning Canelo Alvarez's control. Rumors suggest a big September 2026 comeback fight is set, but Crawford's response was icy. No hesitation. No negotiation. Just a laugh. In 5 words, he said, "That's new news to me." The new face of boxing made it clear, Canelo no longer calls the shots. For the first time, the sport's top name is chasing a fighter who isn't answering calls. For years, Canelo has been the center of boxing. He decides the dates, the terms, the opponents. But that era ended the moment the final bell rang in Las Vegas last September. Crawford's reaction to the rematch news shows just how much the power has shifted. While Canelo's team scrambles to adjust their gear for another shot, Crawford is simply enjoying his victory.
Did you watch the Terence Crawford Canelo Alvarez fight?
Yeah, I did.
Ooh, talk about slick. Oh my goodness. Who's ever done that? Who's ever jumped up 2 weight classes like that? It's crazy.
Scary.
He's so clever, and it got to the point where he got so comfortable, he's like pit-patting him, and then like, what? And you're like,
wow.
watching, like, this is amazing.
Like, that's history, obviously. You shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't be able to fight at that weight for the first time ever.
Against one of the greatest
greatest of all time, and do what you did. You're beyond an outlier. You're an anomaly.
The mental game here is subtle but powerful. By casually saying he's not in a hurry and needs to check with his team, Crawford treats boxing's biggest name like just another opponent. He highlighted the truth everyone sees but few voice. Canelo no longer has the leverage. The schedule is no longer his call. If this fight happens, it will happen on Crawford's terms. And for now, he's happy to let the former champ sweat it out.
Listen, so Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford in negotiations to happen 2026, the rematch. And let me tell you something, I'm not bull jiving. See, I don't see this as a Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford rematch. I see this as a showbiz, the adult redemption. I'm gonna put all the bags on Terence Bud Crawford to win this damn fight.
To see just how desperate Canelo's camp has become, look at the calendar. Insider reports, like those from Salvador Rodriguez at ESPN, reveal something almost unthinkable. Canelo plans to skip his usual Cinco de Mayo fight in May 2026. That weekend has been sacred for over a decade, a guaranteed payday and national celebration. Skipping it shows just how serious the crisis is.
Check this out. News just broke. I want to say it broke maybe yesterday or early this morning. Saul Canelo Alvarez and his trainer, Eddie Reynoso, just said that what was Canelo plans for next year. Now, normally, Canelo fights on Cinco de Mayo, which is a Mexican-American holiday, and he fights on Mexican Independence Day. Canelo just put plans out basically saying that he's not fighting Cinco de Mayo. He wants to rematch Terence Crawford on September, Mexican Independence Day weekend next year, 2026. As a matter of fact, here you go.
Eddie Reynoso, Canelo's longtime trainer and manager, has essentially confirmed that their top plan is a full focus on a September 2026 rematch with Crawford. They aren't looking for a tune-up. They aren't staying active just for the sake of it. They are clearing the year to prepare for Crawford, recognizing how big the gap was in the first fight. A normal 8-week camp won't work. They need 12 months to reshape a fighter who looked slow, frustrated, and out of options. Ironically, while they make these sacrifices, Crawford hasn't even agreed to the fight yet.
Listen, I learned about that. I'm getting my $20,000 back. I can give a damn if Terence Crawford is the favorite 5-1. I'm going to put down as much money as I possibly can to get out of that $20,000 Bud Crawford debt. And that's the black damn 2 sugars. Yeah, I learned my damn lesson. And look at me. Look at me. I am dead serious. Now listen, now that we got that out the way, let me give my take, okay? First and foremost, Terence Bud Crawford is a damn dog. And let me tell you what I mean. In negotiating for this rematch, he would be the first one out of the fighters who've beaten Saul Canelo Alvarez to give him a rematch. Floyd Money Mayweather didn't give Canelo Alvarez a rematch. Dimitri Bivol didn't give Canelo Alvarez a rematch. But here Terence Bud Crawford doing what he does. And let me give you a side note. Let me just put a pin in that. Put a pin in that real quick. Do you know what Terence Bud Crawford was trying to do? The type of bags he was trying to collect this year? Terence Bud Crawford accepted the Jake Paul fight. Yeah, the replacement fight for Gervonta Tank Davis. Terence Bud Crawford accepted that damn fight. Now, MVP, Jake Paul, they didn't go with Terence Bud Crawford. They went with AJ, which I'm still scratching my head on that. All right, because that is going to be a brutal knockout. But with that said, Terence Bud Crawford said yes to this, knowing damn well he's going to negotiate with Canelo. You want to talk about the bags?
In boxing, no usually means the money isn't right. And here, the price for Crawford's return is enormous. We aren't talking normal purses anymore. We're talking sums that rival the GDP of small countries. Crawford's coach, Bernie Davis, publicly mentioned $100 million. It's a jaw-dropping number, but it makes sense. Crawford has already done the impossible. He's conquered, cemented his legacy, and has nothing left to prove. Why risk health and a perfect record for anything less than generational wealth? The $100 million demand puts the pressure on promoters. It's Crawford saying, if you want the sequel, pay for the blockbuster. Networks and investors now decide the fight's true value, showing Crawford knows his worth better than anyone.
Why the hell would old Canelo Alvarez take the rematch? All right, why would he start negotiating? I'm gonna tell you why. He's a competitor, and there's a few things going on here. Number one, there was a rematch clause, and I do know right after the fight, so Canelo Alvarez was like, there was nothing I could do with it. But I think what happens is you start to sit back. Let me look at the fights. Let me think about this. The fight was closer than I thought. You know, that's what Canelo's thinking, right? Because technically it was. All right, when you think about the copy box, and shit, put a pin in that. We all know Terence Crawford whooped that man's ass 11 rounds to 1 in reality, all right? But if you count, punches, landed or copy box, statistically, technically, it was a closer fight, okay? Now, Saul Canelo Alvarez also, last time you saw him, he's, nursing and recovering from an elbow surgery, which he had an elbow injury going into the fight. So, you start thinking about stuff like that. I'm talking about if you Canelo, why would you say, let's go ahead with the rematch. I think I got a shot. All right, being a competitor for one. All right, and number two, the fight was closer technically than you thought because you were in there, and in there you felt like you were getting your ass whipped. And number three, you went in there nursing an elbow injury. So it's like, I think I may have a chance if I'm 100% healthy, all right? He feels the same way about Bivol because he had a wrist injury going into the Bivol fight. So it's just, you think about all those things, and like, yeah, let me give myself a shot, all right? But I'll tell you what I'm going to do is get my 20 grand back, all right?
Crawford's caution may also come from lack of competitive drive. Let's be honest, the first fight wasn't close, it was a showcase. Fans and analysts have flooded social media with clips showing Canelo's frustration. He swung at air, couldn't cut off the ring, and looked slower than Crawford. After a win that decisive, is there really hunger for a rematch? Even legends are weighing in. Recently, a clip of Manny Pacquiao circulated where he advised Canelo to lose weight, pointing out that he looked heavy and sluggish in the first fight.
Can he beat Crawford in a rematch, Canelo? Do you think he can figure it out? That he wants to rematch with Crawford, Canelo.
If he loses weight, he's big, so that's why it's low.
He needs to lose weight.
When icons like Pacquiao highlight your decline, it confirms Crawford's perspective. He's no longer looking at a threatening rival. He sees a fighter who must completely reinvent himself to compete. That makes a rematch feel less about sport and more about money, circling back to that $100 million figure.
And beat Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo after the fight said he had no answers. But Canelo was the undisputed champion. So he had a rematch clause. And as I told you guys in the video I did, Terence Crawford is contractually obligated to the rematch. So Bernie the boxer, he reveals that Terence Crawford is demanding that he gets the lion's share. Now, it was reported the gate did over $45 million, close to $46 million. Gate. It also sold 65,000 people in the arena at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. And so with that said, Terence Crawford was dominant that night. Canelo got 150 million reportedly, and Terence Crawford got 50 to 70 million, right? And so now Terence Crawford wants the roles to be reversed, as he should. Now, keep in mind, Canelo signed a multi-fight deal with His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, okay? That's guaranteeing him a specific amount of purse. So Terence Crawford is saying, listen, I came out on top, as he did. I'm the victor, as he was, right? It was very successful, not only just because of Canelo Alvarez, but because of me as well.
Adding another twist, the sanctioning bodies have played a role. Amid all the big fight negotiations, the WBC stripped Crawford of the super middleweight title he just won, citing unpaid fees.
He petitioned to fight a final elimination bout in super welterweight against Madrimov and remain champion in welter. The WBC supported him. He did not comply with the rules. Then he moves up to super middle and makes the fight of the century, beats Canelo, makes $50 million or around that. The WBC absolutely is not going to charge 3% of such an amount. We made a very clear 0.6%, which is $300,000, with $225,000 going to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, which is to help former fighters in need. And it is just regrettable. Not even a thank you or I'm sorry, taking a different route, no response. I wish him the best. But this is not. The WBC is huge, it's great, it's about greatness, and I'm relieved, to tell you the truth.
In the past, losing a belt would hurt a fighter's leverage. Today, it barely registers.
Mauricio, got a lot to say about me not paying him $300,000 plus another $100K something for sanction fees, right? Then he gonna tell me I ain't even apologize. Like, who the fuck you think I am? Boy, you better slap your fucking self. I ain't paying your ass shit. Fuck you talking about pay you $300,000. What makes you so motherfucking better than any of the other sanctioned bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the fucking green belt, which don't mean fucking shit. The fucking real belt is the ring belt, which is free, motherfucker. What are you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanctioned bodies because you feel like you better than them. How in the world all the sanctioned bodies agreed to the same amount, but you sit your motherfucking ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you? The fuck? You can take the fucking belt. It's a trophy anyway. The fuck am I paying you every time I step foot in the fucking ring?
This move actually strengthens Crawford's outsider image. It shows he's bigger than the organizations. He doesn't need a belt to sell a fight. His name is enough. By stripping him, the WBC made themselves look irrelevant. For a potential rematch, it's no longer about titles. It's about two top names settling a score. Crawford ignoring the belt highlights that is focused on business, not politics, distancing himself from the grasp of the establishment.
Is it true that you walked up to him and you gave him the belts back?
Yeah, for sure.
Did that happen?
Yeah.
Why did you do that? Why'd you do that?
They his belts. I want to be the one to, give them back to him.
But you mean actually they're your belts? You took it, you won.
They're my belts, but my belts is gonna come personalized. Like his belts is personalized. Them his. I took his titles.
Gotcha.
The belts is going home with him. The titles is coming home with me. I'm gonna get my new belts, and those belts is going home with him. And I just felt like it was only right that, I'll be the one to present them back to him.
The way the news leaked also matters. This wasn't a joint announcement, it was a calculated leak from Canelo's side, through trusted journalists, meant to pressure Crawford publicly with a September target. Canelo's team hoped public pressure would force Crawford's hand. But Crawford's "new news to me" response diffused it instantly. No anger, no rant, he exposed the leak as a one-sided wish list. It embarrassed Canelo's team, showing they were negotiating with themselves. Crawford's silence, timed perfectly, made Canelo appear desperate. The former king, who once made others wait, is now checking his phone. The result? A tense standoff defining boxing's next year. On one side, Canelo Alvarez, recovering from elbow surgery and ready to sacrifice his cherished Cinco de Mayo weekend. On the other, Terence Crawford, the undisputed champion, relaxing, laughing at rumors, and waiting for a 9-figure payday. The fight may happen, but the dynamic has shifted. Canelo is no longer unstoppable, he's a challenger hoping the champion has a price. Until then, Crawford seems perfectly content to keep the news waiting. That's it for today's video. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell, and share your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned, we'll see you next time.